on to JJ's Productions, and we're back after another defeat. So, yeah, this is the outtake, and it's pretty lukewarm at this rate because I don't really know what to say. First half was okay, we conceded the goal, and after that, I can't place my finger on what went wrong. As far as it's as if everyone just switched off and couldn't be bothered, and I'm talking players, fans, manager. Everything about our game just died. So I haven't got an explanation for it right now. I'm hoping next couple of days I can put my finger on it, but right now I'm a bit speechless.
Oh, I think Josh has summed that up. But first half, I thought we played well. And I honestly thought we could hold our own. Even after they scored, I thought we can come back from it. But second half, Preston all over again. And I don't get it. The only thing I can think is this diamond just is not working.
Yeah, we didn't use the diamond?
No, well, I don't know what the hell we used, Josh. I mean, Gregory up front is a no-no to me. I'm sorry, he was going for balls in there, he wasn't winning anything.
On his own, I don't think he's the answer.
But I don't know what the answer is. This is my problem, I don't know what the answer is. But I don't know, but, you know, it's just so disappointing. I've got a feeling Nathan Jones is going to be sacked. I honestly think he is going to be sacked. I can see it coming.
Well, the way I'm looking at it is, I don't know about being sacked. I mean, by the time we record the rest of this episode, we'll know for certain, but I don't think if he was, he could complain as of today, you know, because Preston and Leeds, the performances in both games at second half of Leeds, absolutely terrible. The one thing I sort of demand of any Stoke team is commitment, i.e. if we're under the cosh, if we're losing, at least fight for every ball, show intent to attack. You know, if it's 3-0 down, show that you're willing to go for 3-1, 3-2, 3-3. Show desire, and there was none of that.
The only time I've seen a stadium empty at 70 minutes was against Manchester City. And I thought, call yourself fans, what are you playing at? You're just seeing it today. The ground was emptying second by second. Terrible. Terrible. And I feel so sad. So that's a wrap from me, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I'm going to say, might as well leave it there, but it's quite sombre, you might expect that. It's not as if we can suddenly do a song and dance after a performance like that. But yeah, we'll go and record the other one probably Wednesday. I think the game's on Tuesday, isn't it? So we'll record and release the episode on Wednesday. So yeah, let's hope that we redeem ourselves a little bit at Leeds, but I'm quite fearful that we could get on the end of another riding. Okay, so we're back recording on Wednesday. It's not a particularly nice day, so that's not really reflective of the mood we're in. It's funny how you can go from a bad result like that on Saturday and actually get a half-decent result on the Tuesday.
Well, Saturday. These are my first words. Abysmal, shambolic, catastrophe, uncreative, lacklustre. I could go on and on and on. It was dreadful. I was bored to tears. And you were.
Yeah.
I mean, words are failing me how bad they were.
That second half, I was leaning back in my chair and I was literally just watching it as a spectacle rather than of anything of interest. I was just literally watching players move. There was no excitement in the game whatsoever.
No. I mean, I was just going with the motions and just watching, like Josh has just said. And I thought, I wonder how many more they're going to get past us.
Well, put it like this, I wonder Rule 4 were out.
No.
Although I was a bit disappointed that we didn't get the 3-1 I predicted.
Yeah.
That would have been like the one little ray of sunshine for me.
Yeah, I know I went a bit busty last week. But
Well,
you are right that they did get 3.
The way I see it is, I was right about how much I thought Leeds could score, but I obviously overestimated what Stoke could score.
I mean, first off, I thought we started well. I mean, we didn't even have the 20-minute laps.
No,
We got straight into it, didn't we?
But like this, it wasn't like we were fantastic, but considering what we've seen against Preston, those opening 20-30 minutes against Leeds were actually quite good.
Yeah. I mean, I was amazed. And
Sorry, a little small thing that really irritated me in that game. The number of fans around us who were getting so irate at passes going back, and I thought, we have got to pass the ball back at times. You can't moan at someone just because a ball's going backwards. Sometimes it has got to go backwards if you want to keep the ball.
if it's a pass forward, it had gone to a Leeds player anyway.
I mean, the stats are on the screen, right? But you look at it, and in both games, Leeds dominated us on the ball. So the fact is, whenever we were passing back, it was just our attempt at trying to keep the ball for ourselves for a bit.
Yeah. I mean, they're number 9.
Bamford, yeah.
You know, he's a devil in himself, that lad is.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I've really gone off him.
Yeah. I mean, I really liked him. Was it when he played for Derby?
Yeah, when he was at Derby, I think even his spell at Borough, he was all right in terms of. He reminded me of like someone who was really, I don't know. It was like the Marcus Rashford effect, you know, the young lad who comes through, does well, even if it is at a different level. But yeah, I think something about him at Leeds. I think that dive last season really lowered my opinion of him. But he didn't really raise it here either. He just seemed a bit. I wouldn't say dirty, it was more like he played to the dark side of the game.
Yeah, I think he's a big-headed little top anyway, to be honest.
A bit of that maybe as well, yeah.
You know, his head's got a bit too big for his shoulders and he needs to...
Maybe it's the fact that he scored a few goals, you know, and the fact that he hasn't had an injury for 6 weeks.
Yeah, but I thought Nathan Collins was a good leader.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of criticism about Collins after the game in the sense that it was as if people were saying, oh, he's only picked him as captain to try and get the fans on side, and I think, so? You know, if he's the best captain out of the bunch, you know, I mean, I get the argument we've signed 4 or 5 captains from other clubs this window, so that shouldn't be the case. But I also think to myself that a captain is always good if they've been at the club, so on that basis, Collins is actually a good shout.
Well, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Which is what actually Jones said after the game, so, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't hear it, you know, but that's just how I look at it. But I noticed something that he was shouting instructions to the players. When they got out of position, he shouted at them and told them get back in position.
Yeah.
And I thought that was quite good leadership, because that's not something you see Ryan do too often.
Yeah.
You know, so I really think that he got the hang of this captaincy.
Well, I like that, don't get me wrong, but just as a centre-half, I love the fact that he's brave on the ball. You know, he isn't just going to play short one passes and clear if he gets too awkward. He will try and play with the ball.
Yeah.
I know that can cause difficulties if you come up against good opposition who can pressure correctly. Yeah. But equally, I just love the idea that you pass him that ball and he's not going to be frightened of doing something with it.
No.
And again, this feels like I'm digging at Ryan, and it's not that. It's a case of when Ryan was coming through at Man United, he was taught a whole different way about how to be a defender.
Yeah.
Right, Nathan's probably been taught differently, so it's more a case of I'm admiring a member of the new generation coming through.
I mean, I think Ryan would have been proud against Leeds.
I mean, I know the scoreline wouldn't reflect that, but I can understand what you mean now.
Yeah. I mean, he got big boots to fill.
Yeah.
You know, because Ryan's been our captain for a long time. And he was only young when he took the captaincy.
Yeah.
You know, and I think he would think, he's in the making here, if we can hold on to him.
I mean, the irony, the strange thing is that we then go to Elland Road on Tuesday and we don't play him. And we get a win. Well, we get a win on penalties. We draw in normal time. So you look at it, you go, what went on there?
Well, I'm going to say something that might cause a comment or two, and Josh doesn't agree with me one little bit. But for me, Gregory, I'm sorry, but he can't be up on his own up front. He just cannot be.
For the record, I agree with you, he shouldn't be on his own. He needs support, but I don't believe that based on the Leeds game at home, he deserved to be dropped. But saying that, Vokes and Campbell did well together.
Yeah.
So this is what I would prefer. I'd like competition like that, where if Gregory does have an iffy game, admittedly on his own rather than in a pair.
Yeah.
I like the idea that two can come in and say, right, well, we work well together, try us.
Yeah. You know, that's the only thing that, for me, was wrong with the formation, that Gregory was on his own up front.
Yeah, and in the first half, it seemed to be the case that whenever Gregory got the ball, Duffy's job was to get close to him. And it worked to an extent, but the trouble is, Gregory then had to try and get into a separate position to try and score, and he just couldn't do both jobs.
Yeah.
So he really did need that extra man up front just to support Gregory.
I mean, for his age, what is he, 30?
I think he is. He's either 30 or the other side of it.
He has got some energy, but some younger ones have got more stamina.
How I see it, especially after this game, if it was Gregory and Campbell, I wouldn't complain, but Vokes scored, so if he's going to go on a run, premature with one goal, but just supposing, then I'd like that as well. I think Campbell needs to be given the shot.
I definitely do.
This is where it gets a bit political, because he's obviously been the centre of a story today where his father's been on Twitter and saying his contract runs out at the end of this season, and I'm not overly fond of that, in the sense that I feel like it's playing a contract situation out in public, which I don't think anyone should do. Even if it's public knowledge, just don't talk about it, just let him leave and that'll be it. But bringing it out, it's a bit like he's trying to get fan support to back the club to give him a new contract, and I'm like, the thing is, the fans would love that, but equally I don't know if, I've got great respect for Kevin Campbell on Twitter, because if anything, he's very vocal in the sense that he talks to fans, he engages, so it's no criticism of him this. It's just a case of, I'm not sure what he wanted to gain by saying this. It feels like it was a comment more acknowledging something rather than actually demanding something. I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
I think he just wanted to get the ball rolling in some way.
Maybe. There's a phrase that I can't say because it's swearing, but it's stirring the pot, isn't it? And I feel like, did we need it stirring right now?
No, not the position that we're in now.
Especially after Campbell had a good game, because you're worried that you could get dropped based on that.
Yeah. Well, that's petty of yours.
It would be petty, I'm not going to lie, but it has happened before. I mean, look at Tony Pulis. How many times would he drop a player because he did something in public that he shouldn't?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, back to the game. Federici.
Oh, we're going back to the home game, sorry. Federici.
He made a couple of good saves on Saturday, and without him it could have been a lot more. He made at least 2-3 good saves.
You know, I actually feel sorry for Federici.
Yeah.
I mean, I say it like that because I don't know about anyone else, but I don't think you can not put Butland in against Birmingham.
I know.
Just for the fact that after what happened at Elland Road, you think, yes, he made a mistake there, but the penalty, you've got to praise the bravery he had for that. So you look at it and you go, can you actually drop him?
Well,
I mean, Federici did nothing wrong though.
Jack taking the penalty, I honestly think that it put Wilson off. Is it Wilson who took it?
You mean Butland taking the penalty?
Yeah, and then their player.
It was Harrison who took the penalty.
Where have I got Wilson from?
I don't know.
Not a senior moment, folks. Just ignore me.
They've got Bournemouth and they've got a few Wilsons down there.
So, when Jack took the penalty, I think it put them off, thinking, what's going on here? And then, of course, he hit the post.
Yeah, I was getting post and bar in the end.
And thought, good on you.
So, I wouldn't really envy being Nathan Jones this weekend, because he's got a tough call whichever way it goes. Do you stick with the goalkeeper who, despite conceding 3, did well at home against Leeds, or do you go for the number 1 goalkeeper, essentially, who's been in poor form, made a mistake on the night, but is potentially on the upward path again?
Well, I've read today that he's keeping the same team on Saturday that he put out last night.
I mean, I'll ask you guys this. If he picks the same team that won it, well, not won, but won on penalties at Elland Road, would you be happy with that? Or would you rather see something a little bit different? I mean, personally, I'd be happy because I think I'm not particularly a fan of 5 at the back as we're doing it, but if it gets us more solid whilst we sort of get to a shape that everyone's comfortable with,
Yeah.
I'd be happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on social media a lot this week, which is so unusual for me.
At least as far as Stoke goes.
You know, I don't usually comment, but I've had to do because some fans, so-called fans, have really got on my wick. And the comments that they've made about Nathan Jones is just uncalled for. And I felt so sorry for the guy. Okay, he's got the sense not to read them, but fans who do believe in him, like I am believing in him, there's no need for it. There really is. Oh.
I mean, I've just got this. I mean, I think you were just going on to the idea that maybe a family member or something there might read some things, but for me, it's a case of the Leeds fans did the job for us. You know, when he was going towards the tunnel, the Leeds fans made it clear that he hadn't had a good game, shall we call it.
You're getting sacked in the morning.
Exactly. So, you know, you think to yourself, why do we need to hammer it home even more? Because I think the Leeds fans said it well enough. You know, and I think the empty seat said it well enough. Do we really need to go and hammer it home that much?
Well, I'm going to say
at this point.
I'm going to say on here what I said on social media. We are 5 games in. We've got another 41 to go. Forget last season. That last season has gone. We can't do anything about last season and Jones coming in and we didn't win and 23 games here and 25 games there. A load of rubbish. This is the new season.
I think this is where you have to walk the fine line into it, in the sense that you don't forget last season, but you don't base everything on it either. In the sense you have to sort of say, okay, we're 5 games into this season, we've got to give him more time, but equally, you know, you've got to remember what went in the past, just for the fact that you think if it goes to, say, 10 games where we haven't won, you think, right, is something from last season still affecting us this season? There is a balancing effect.
I mean, if it was 10 games, son, I would say something's got to be done. You know, and to be honest, I think once he can get a formation that the players like, never mind what Jones likes, to be honest, do a formation, 4-4-2, whatever, and see which they're best at.
I know where you're coming from. Personally, I think what we did at Elland Road seemed, from what I've heard anyway, people seem to like it. The players, seem to like it. We've got Wood and Klukas as holding midfielders. They were able to support the wing backs, and then that gave freedom to Ince to support Vokes and Campbell. So it did seem like a clever shape in that sense. You know, it was defensive maybe, but it was also there's a bit of freedom up front.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if we can adapt that, because I don't think we'd need such a defensive shape against Birmingham.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we wouldn't, but I'm not saying we do either. You know, it's like I say, we need a balance.
Yeah.
It's where I think, should we go back to a 4 at the back?
Yeah. I mean, it's like I've always said all my football watching life, that once it's the manager who picks the team, he picks the formation, he tells them what to do. Once them 11 players get on that pitch, then it's out of Jones's hands. It's them that have got to make it work, and it's them that isn't working. To me, Jones picks a team, he thinks it's the best team he can pick, but them 11 aren't performing.
I mean, this is the question I ask for those who say Jones doesn't know what he's doing. What is it when, say, we're doing all right for 20-30 minutes against Leeds? We can see what I considered a good goal for Leeds, in the sense that, you know, they just happened to catch McLean napping. I know people will say, oh, McLean, he's not a full-back, you know, blah, blah, blah. The way I see it, Danny Rose got caught out the same way for Tottenham against Newcastle. So, you know, it happens in my view. So for me, that was a good first goal for Leeds. Maybe we could have done better, but you know, these things happen.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we don't recover, and that's where I'm sort of getting bugged at.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what is it on the pitch that as soon as something goes wrong, there's a collapse?
Yeah.
And this is sort of where I'm glad that we didn't collapse against Leeds at Elland Road, because it showed well, maybe not recovery, but we dug in.
Yeah, and that's what they've got to keep doing instead of them heads going down. You can see the heads dropping, and you think, come on, lads, for goodness sake, you've got another 70 minutes, go.
I mean, maybe this is just a good case of the idea that if we score first, we're actually feel confident because it's the idea we got in front. So even if they peg us back, we can get another.
Yeah.
Whereas I think when we concede first, we feel like, oh, here they come, and goal after goal after goal. Yeah. So maybe that's just what we need, a mentality of it doesn't matter if they score first, we'll get another to catch up.
Yeah, yeah. But it's like last night, we had 29% possession. Yeah. 29%! That's ridiculous.
Sorry, I've got another one here as far as stats go, and it'll be down here somewhere. But for the home game, I was amazed how many of Leeds' passes were on target. They had something like 590 odd passes in the game total, and it was just over 500 completed. So you look at that, and that is efficiency on the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm bringing this up because how people reacted to the defeat against Leeds, you would have thought we'd lost to the team in 23rd, so Huddersfield.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we played the top of the table who were on fire.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not being horrible to people who watched the game and thought it was a bad game, because I'll be honest, we've said it ourselves, we were bored. But equally, don't be dismissive of the fact that Leeds are clinical.
Yeah. I mean, they absolutely run rings around us.
Yeah.
Didn't they?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Koska Kabur? No, they couldn't.
No, they couldn't. I mean, that's 2 times in a row we've said that, but...
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know, it was just diabolical, and I don't know. But what really upset me was that at 70 minutes, the ground, it was empty.
Yeah.
As we sat down, you can see them going in droves. Now, to me, they're not Stoke supporters. I'm sorry. You see it through.
I call them caviar supporters, you know, in the sense that they want the Premier League elite. You know, it's like, oh, we're not getting promotion this season. And, you know, they'd rather go beat the traffic. And I think, well, yeah, I wouldn't mind beating the traffic, but equally I'll go and see the lads out till full time.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's just because I live a little bit nearer to some of those, but equally I can't help but think if we were 3-0 up against Leeds, would some of them have been getting?
Yeah. I mean, the guy who sits next to us with his son, they go at 4:25.
Yeah.
But only because they travel from Wolverhampton.
Although I must have, sorry, again, there's personal issues with him. I'm not having a dig at either of them, but he took his time. You know, he was having a little chat while standing up, and I've got a fella behind me saying, come on, can you sit down? I want to see the game. And I'm like, oh dear.
Yeah. He just doesn't go, he lingers.
Yeah.
You know, and...
he's a nice guy, friendly and all that.
Yeah,
it's just one of those where you're like, okay, we'll see you next time. You don't have to chat to us all the way along the line.
Anyway, what do you want to go on to now?
Well, shall we get on to Brum?
Yeah. We are going to Birmingham, aren't we?
I hope so. I've got the tickets in now.
Right. We're going to Birmingham. Okay. Looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good game. I can feel it in passing. I can just feel it.
Can you share that with me?
I can feel it in my water.
I'm going to say I think I might need a transfusion. I've still got me pessimistic Stoke hat on.
Oh, I thought you meant you still got your hangover.
Nah, not that.
Drunken little devil, you.
For the record, I was doing a live stream last night during the Leeds match, and I said, right, for every Leeds goal that's scored, I'll drink 1 shot of vodka. And for every Stoke goal that's scored, I'll drink 2 shots of vodka. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but I haven't drank shots of vodka since I was about 18, so yeah, I struggled this morning.
with 6 cans of cider on top of it, folks.
Yeah, but that wasn't really much to do with the stream. I'm more like I just fancied a can of cider after.
Yeah. And then we thought, it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, our puppy's been a while, so that has it out.
Yeah, so anyway, back to the game.
Yeah,
Don't want to know about my princess.
I told you, it's a channel about us as well as football.
Yeah. Well, my princess was poorly and I felt ever so sorry for her. In fact, I was awake all night looking after her.
Let's get you up to bed then and finish this.
Right. I don't know.
I'm trying to remember what you're talking about
Yeah,
now, aren't you?
because I've covered everything really.
All right.
Because I've gone out of sync with this.
Well,
But the one, sorry, I'm going to be. Currently, Birmingham are in 15th, and we know where we are. So I'm hoping for a win anyway, based on last night's performance, shall we say.
Who's their top scorer, love?
Their top scorer is number 10.
I bet you miss Che Adams, don't you?
Oh, good God. I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry.
Lucas Jukovic.
Number 10, folks. And, okay, they've only scored 3 goals, but he scored 2 of them. So just look for number 10 because he looks a bit of a goer.
I was just thinking, we've got Hogan on too, so we're probably par for par.
Yeah. But we need this win. We just get a win under our belts. And I think the players will feel better, the manager will feel better, and the fans.
I mean, again, I'd look at the Premier League in the sense of when we, had bad starts in the Premier League seasons. We've gone 6 without a win, we've gone maybe 10 without a win, I think, once. And you think to yourself, it's going to be a hard season, and then somewhere we just get into a click, we get into a run of form, and we actually get results leading up to Christmas. I know the Premier League's different to the Championship, i.e. you really need a fast start to get up to the top and keep pace. But equally, I look at Aston Villa last season, and they had a terrible first 2 or 3 months under Steve Bruce. They got the current guy in whose name's just gone from my head, I'll have to try and think of that fast. Dean Smith, there we go. And as soon as he sort of got his fingers into their pie, as it were, they were flying.
Yeah.
So, the way I see it, even though Jones has had more time than that, I just think, hopefully, he needs that bit more time to actually get the team flying.
I mean, do you think Chelsea fans were calling for Frank Lampard to be sacked?
Yes, I believe there are a number of Chelsea fans who after 2 games would do that. I imagine there are a bunch of Man United fans calling for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to get the sack after 1 game.
Yeah.
1 loss, sorry.
I just find it so ridiculous. And why I'm on this blinking roll with me temper. Stoke fans, I'm absolutely disgusted with the lot of you for not going behind them on Saturday. Not one song they sang. 1 song.
I'll admit, the only Delilah I heard was on the tannoy at the start of the match.
No Delilah, no nothing. Absolutely disgusting. And then they hoped that the game play good, and it was like a library.
I mean, I go back to it, when players put in like a bit of a spark like Collins, why not just do something on the back of that as if to say, the only thing you ever get is, come on, Stoke, and you think, alright, how about something a bit more than that? Actually do back to back to back, really generating a bit of atmosphere instead of...
Well, we're supposed to be one of the noisiest...
that thing the other week, I know what, sorry to interrupt you like that, but that thing the other week where they were saying we were the noisiest, do you think you picked your moment to press that button, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because that Derby game, that was dreadful for the atmosphere up until the goals, the second goal, so...
I mean, I go back to when we played Liverpool, the 6-1. Even before the first goal went in, that ground was buzzing.
Yeah.
Absolutely buzzing. And the side, it was still open at the corner.
I mean, I go to that though, where it was a case of, I think at that point, the fans knew we got a good team, so they were behind it from the kick-off. And this is where I get really frustrated because I'm like, okay, this isn't the team we want as far as it's probably not the most exciting we've had in the last decade. It's probably not the most capable of winning. but
it's the only one we've got.
Exactly, so get behind it.
Yeah.
And the chances are, the more we get behind it, the more the results we'll get.
But they can't carry on like they did Saturday. It was eerie. It was that quiet. Ever likely the Leeds fans were singing, "Is this a library?" And then, "Is there a fire drill?"
I mean, that should be a mark of shame to the Bootham End.
Yeah.
I'm saying the Bootham End, right, because you guys are the ones who make the biggest noise. And I know that there's those in the corner at the South Stand area, they're trying to make a bit of noise as well, but from what you've told me, it sounds like they're more trying to compete with one another, rather than actually generating a massive atmosphere around the three ends.
I mean, I said to Josh, if the Bootham End sang and Stoke, the South Stand, is it?
Yeah.
Sang, and he meets in the middle, what a sound that would be to them players.
Yeah.
And they think, well, I'd think if I was a player, oh, they're behind us.
Well, this is the thing as well, right? In the Leeds game, they got, like I said, they had incredible passing accuracy. How much harder would that have been if they couldn't hear what the teammates were saying?
Yeah.
Just imagine if there had been a cauldron of noise. They wouldn't have been able to have communicated as much as they did. But because it was so quiet, only the Leeds fans shouting, you've got
we could hear every word that them players were shouting to one another.
Yeah.
It was that quiet, we could hear every word.
And I really hate this idea of, well, why don't you do something about it yourself? If you think of the Bootham End as the lead vocalist and the backing singer, I can't get it started on my own, but as soon as someone does, I'll join in.
I mean, we're on Franklin, and
it's not the loudest, let's put it like that.
They don't sing.
Maybe they're worried about Peter Goats going,
I don't know what it is, but we sat there when they played Newcastle when we were in the Prem, and it was horrible, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was horrible atmosphere that night.
And the only reason we're in the Franklin is because of me. It's not so far for me to walk to the car park.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a season or two down the line we might try and shift things around a little bit, but for now, that's where we are.
Yeah. I mean, I want to be where the atmosphere is.
Yeah.
I really do. So, but anyway, let's just hope that they get behind them on Saturday. Thing is, I'm here again, sorry. Away, they sing their hearts out.
Yeah.
At Preston, it was so loud.
To begin with, anyway, I think as soon as the goals went in, it was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah. But they still sang Delilah even after the goals went in.
Jack, if you're watching, well, I know you're not, but even if you are, please don't do that again. I don't want to be talking about goals conceded.
Oh no, I did tweet to him.
What was it? Yeah, sorry, we're going on another digression here, but we did actually say after the game last night, we'll tweet to Jack, and it was a case of, Jack, nice one taking the penalty, but can you not cause so many muck-ups, otherwise we're not going to have a dog sitter on away days.
My brother-in-law just will not. I mean, my brother-in-law sent a text to me last night saying, oh, you didn't go. Wasn't that game then? I said it was bloody awful. Sorry. And he says, are you going Birmingham? I said, of course. He says, oh no. It isn't us. It isn't all honest.
Just stop letting it be us, because I'm getting sick of not seeing wins. I feel like I am jinxed.
Do you know, I don't think we've been to an away match before.
We haven't. I'll put it out there. We've been Newcastle away, we've been Middlesbrough away, Everton away, Crystal Palace away, Brighton away, and this season we've been all the away games except for the cups. So I think that's why we've got a cup run.
Yeah.
So I'm just crossing my fingers that it's just bad luck on our part rather than we're jinxing.
Listen, I've been ill. They didn't come see me when I was bad, but I keep turning up seeing them.
Well, no, you don't just keep turning up, you stay there till the end as well.
I stay till the 90th plus minute. I never walk off early. Anyway, prediction, dear.
Prediction. 1-1.
2-1 Stoke.
Alright, what way I see it, I don't know about you. I've gone 1-1 for the simple reason. Birmingham, I'll admit, sorry, there was a Birmingham fan on Twitter who amused me. They said, don't worry Stoke fans, you know you've been in a bad run of form, but you're coming to play us soon, so it'll all be alright soon. And I just responded to him saying, I think there's a lot of Stoke fans who'd say the same to you, mate, so I think it's going to be one of those sorts of games where we're both a bit frightened to lose. So
Yes,
I think a
yeah.
1-1 would probably be a good result for both parties, at least as far as... I know we need the win, don't come jumping on me like that, but equally...
No, but you did make me laugh and said, oh, if we win, we'll jump up to 23rd. And I thought, well, that's good.
22nd, dear.
Oh, 22nd is it now, boy?
I think it's 22nd anyway.
But you know, anybody would think we're jumping from the bottom to about 16th, and I thought, oh,
Yeah.
23rd, 22nd.
All right.
Anyway, be back next week.
Yeah, well, if we're back next week, it won't necessarily be a Stoke City vlogcast, it'll probably be England.
Oh, well, this is last. No, it isn't.
No, matches for a fortnight after Birmingham.
Oh, that's it, the 6th, the 7th and the 14th, isn't it?
Yeah. And so if we do something, it'll probably be just to review the Birmingham match, and we might talk a little bit about England and a bit about who we're playing after this. It's Bristol City, is it? Or I think it's Bristol City, isn't it? We've got a home game anyway, so we'll talk about the upcoming game. I can't see the thing because it's not on the screen. But yeah, we'll...
I know my son wants to go to Brentford.
Yeah, I want to see Griffin Park before it goes. Well, the current Griffin Park. I know there's going to be a new Griffin Park. But yeah,
Okay.
that's what I want to see.
Okay.
But yeah, that is about it.
Okie dokie. See you next time then, folks.
Bristol City, there we go, we can see it on my screen. Yeah, alright.
If you gain the match, enjoy it. And if you're not, boo-hoo on you-hoo.
Alright, folks, see ya.
See you, bye.
Bye. One last thing, folks. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you like Stoke City but you don't like the rest of my content, the way I see it, I have thumbnails just for Stoke, so you can always just click on those videos and just ignore the rest.
Like it and subscribe.
Okay, folks?
Please, folks. I do this and I'm getting old.
I'm feeling old duck after all these. See ya, bye.
See you, bye.